Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, I want to cover a very interesting project, a very simple, elegant, but very interesting project which has incredible potential in the long run, at least based on my opinion. And this project is called Furu Combo or Combo for short. So if you want to learn more about this project, I suggest you guys to go to their website where they have very straightforward tutorials that help you explain what this project is all about. So how Furu Combo works. Furu Combo is a tool built for end users to optimize their DeFi strategy simply by drag and drop, right? It visualizes complex DeFi protocols into cubes. Users set up inputs/outputs and the order of the cubes in brackets a combo. Then Combo bundles all the cubes into one transaction and sends out. If you don't know what to do, you can find inspirations from pre-built combos at Explore page, right? So basically, Combo is basically a toolkit that helps to simplify multiple DeFi actions and in such a way that you can, at the end of the activity, you can have one large transaction that you send to simplify all the processes, right? So if you guys haven't used any of the Ethereum based DeFi applications such as Synthetics or Curve Finance, you'd probably not know how hard it is to interact with those protocols and how hard it was in the last year's DeFi bull run, mini DeFi bull run that happened last year. Initially, when Synthetics project was launched, I was pretty excited and I wanted to use their protocol. But I usually try to look at YouTubers to see if there's a tutorial. But those days, in the past year, not a lot of people were even aware of the phenomenon called DeFi, and they had no idea how to use synthetics. Or many people who were already in DeFi, they were still trying to learn everything from scratch, right? So DeFi was, in DeFi and Ethereum was pretty much, affordable at the time, but it was still very difficult to use because all these projects have, much complicated procedures, and the way to interact with these protocols was very hard, right? Two of those examples that I could think from the back of my head were Synthetics and Curve.finance. I still believe that both of these projects are still confusing and very hard to understand, even for me after a long time today. But what Furo Combo aims to do is, in order to prevent people from not accessing DeFi because of the fact that the user interface is pretty hard or very complex to access, Furo Combo creates things called cubes where each and every activity will represent a particular cube, right? So what you would need to do is you just need to drag and drop a particular cube before another cube or after another cube in order to create a set of activities that you plan to do. And Furo Combo enables this activity to happen in a single transaction, right? So that's a pretty cool feature if you ask me. So here, if you scroll below, they have this example which is very simplified and very easy to understand. So step one is basically to pick a DeFi plus action. So if you see, this is a cube or a combo, right? And this represents any activity that you do with regards to Uniswap interaction or swapping tokens or providing liquidity or whatever, right? So basically that would be step one. And in step two, pick more DeFi's actions. For an example, it's given compound finance as an example. So let's say if you want to interact with compound finance, you first need ERC20 tokens. And since compound finance only has a limited list of ERC20 tokens that you can interact with, you probably have to convert some of your ETH into one of those tokens that's supported on compound finance, right? So step one would be to convert your ETH and interact with Uniswap to get your respective ERC20 token. And in step two, you can bring your converted tokens, let's say for example USDC coin, and you can interact with the compound finance, and that would be step two. Step three and step four basically are multiple other steps that you can either add or remove depending on your particular activity. And step four would finally be connect wallet and send. So you can do this even before you connect your wallet. You can kind of like have a plan. It's basically like a checklist in a cryptocurrency environment or in a DeFi environment that Furo Combo offers, where you can plan, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and kind of guesstimate the estimated gas fees that you'd have to pay before you interact, and get an idea of how things flow smoothly, which in other cases won't happen by default, right? So it's a pretty straightforward and cool concept that I really like, because these kind of projects, if they were existing before in the last DeFi bull run which happened last year, I would have probably used this feature like every single time, because there were several DeFi projects that were coming in: Yearn.finance, Aave, Synthetics, Curve, so many projects that were coming in, and all of these were really cool projects, but they had a very hard user interface, or their interaction was not really clearly mentioned on their website, or there was no tutorials available. And therefore I kind of like had to do a lot of research, and by the time I did a lot of research to understand the interface, the token was already pumping like crazy, right? So but this project will definitely be of interest to anyone who wants to interact with DeFi. Although Ethereum is kind of like unaccessible right now because of the high gas fees and the slow transaction rate, new users will definitely not be making any profits from Ethereum-based DeFi protocols at this time, because many of these projects are very gas intensive, right? Because of Ethereum's lack of scalability, right? But once Ethereum does kind of cool down, and when eventually it does become more and more accessible to everyone, projects like Furo Combo would skyrocket, because these projects would make it so much easier for people to access DeFi, and that would create a very user-friendly experience, right? So if you want to find inspirations from pre-built Combo, you can go to their Explorer page, and this is the Explorer page, and they have pretty cool graphics, and the background is pretty clear. The information provided is very solid, right? Combo token is here: join transaction mining to earn. So basically, if you interact with this project and you do any transaction, you're paid out in the Combo tokens, right? Which is pretty cool. So last week's top earner was basically ETH Combo Pool with an APY of 500 and something 542.34 percent, which is incredibly high, right? Although Ethereum is currently inaccessible, eventually when it does become accessible after Ethereum 2.0, maybe after a year or two, this project will have a lot of people interacting with it, and therefore the Combo token price would skyrocket like crazy, right? So again, one thing to note is recently this token got exploited. This project got exploited. Basically, I think last week a hacker kind of like drained this project. I think it was $14 million worth of funds were like drained from this project, which does set a like an initial negative stigma around this project. But bear with me, this project is definitely worth investing in. The reason is there have been bigger and more famous DeFi projects that were also hacked. Let's say, for example, Compound Finance and Yearn.finance are some of the two projects which also got their liquidity or their funds drained. But those two projects are still considered as high quality blue chip DeFi projects, right? Similarly, this project, although with a little bit of tarnish in its reputation right now because of the hack, it's still considered as a very high quality project, and in the future it has a potential to even be one of the top 50 projects in coin gecko, right? Because of its very high utility that it's offering, and the very high ease of use that it's offering to new retail people who basically want to use DeFi, but they don't have the knowledge or the time to do research to invest in projects like Curve or Yearn.finance or even Synthetics, right? So basically, if you go to the website and click on the explore options, you'll see all the other information. They provide the APYs. Because my wallet hasn't been connected, it's not showing the proper APYs on the site. You can clearly see that Combo mining shortcut. You can mine Combo, participate in the transaction mining program in one transaction. So every time you do transaction, you get a small portion of Combo tokens rewarded to you. Boost transaction mining reward. claim combo token, and deposit to transaction mining combo pool. Boost transaction mining ETH combo liquidity provider pool. You can provide liquidity to that, and you can stake it in order to earn combo tokens, right? Close Maker Vault. Use your collateral to pay off all the debt on Maker. Again, since Maker is one of the most popular DeFi projects on Ethereum, this project is directly working with the Maker and several other projects in order to make things easier, right? If you see here, increase ETH exposure. ETH Maker Vaults owners use this as profit from ETH price surge. Again, we have a curve Furo combo section where you can kind of use ARB opportunities. Don't always exist. Catch it if you can. That's pretty cool. And add liquidity to ETH USDC pool. You can provide liquidity and you can earn 39.37% APY, right? You can do that in combo tokens, right? You can earn 10.66% APY by interacting with the Yearn Finance ecosystem, 10% with Aave, 5.36% with Compound, and so on and so forth, right? You have multiple other projects which will help you earn multiple combo tokens in multiple different ways. So they have a lot of opportunities here for this token, and it's a pretty interesting token indeed, right? So again, it's a pretty straightforward and easy to use application. They also have, if you go to their previous page, you can also look at their tutorial where they have a YouTube tutorial to show you how you can use Furo combos, combos or cubes to lay out your plan and pay one transaction fee, which will encompass all other transactions, and not worry about going to one page, interacting with one protocol, taking the liquidity pool provider tokens from that protocol and depositing it to another one and staking that, and so on and so forth, right? This project is going to make it much more easier. That's basically what I'm trying to say right now. So if you go to the coin gecko page for Furo combo, it's currently the 612th ranked token by market cap on CoinGecko, and it is currently trading at $3.05. It was previously trading at $5 last week, but after the exploit, it kind of dipped, and now it's slowly starting to recover, because this project, even after an exploit, people are going to definitely still want to hold this, because although there's going to be an exploit, this project is definitely going to outperform several other projects, because it helps make all DeFi processes very easy and very convenient, right? So that's pretty cool. And you can clearly see that it has rebounded at a rate of 6.8% in the past 24 hours. So that's pretty good. The market cap is still $16.2 million, which is very low for a project that aims to make DeFi very simple, at least on the Ethereum blockchain as of now. But I do believe that they will eventually branch out to other blockchains, right? Although not all other DeFi projects in other blockchains are as complicated as DeFi in Ethereum, there will definitely be multiple projects, let's say for example on Polkadot or on Cardano, that will be hard for people to use, and Furo combo may potentially expand to those kind of blockchains, right? So with the market cap like this, it's pretty much like steel right now, and you can clearly see that the max supply is 100 million tokens. So that's something that I always like. Any token that's equal to or less than 100 million tokens in maximum supply, that will definitely have my vote of confidence, because scarcity is a very important factor, and for a project like this to have a fixed maximum limit instead of having again, even if it has a maximum limit, the maximum limit is kind of like a reasonable number, right? Like 100 million is kind of the standards. Anything above 100 million, it's probably going to get a lot of dilution in the short term. Although its fundamentals are strong for the long term, it's probably going to have a lot of dilution in the short term because of inflation, right? But these kind of projects like Furo combo, by having a maximum supply of 100 million tokens, they are basically like, by having strong fundamentals and having a max supply of 100 million tokens, they're basically allowing for less inflation of the tokens in the short term, and which kind of entices more people to invest in this project, which will definitely outperform any other project in the long run, especially projects that have like 500 million or 1 billion or 10 billion token as maximum supply, right? Because inflation for every project is going to be there, right? Any DeFi token if you take, it's going to have a short-term inflation where new tokens get released into the market and therefore causing the price to stagnate. But any project that has a very low max supply, the inflation rate would be shorter, or it would be relatively shorter, and the long-term potential will be relatively sooner, right? You can realize the long-term potential very soon. So for this project, you can clearly see that the market cap is very low, the max supply is very standard, right? And it's pretty much ranked 612th on by market cap. So this token has incredible potential to grow in the long run, right? And also in the short run. So if you see the charts, you can clearly see that the information, you can clearly see in the recent times there's been a huge dip because of all the FUD that happened after the exploit. Again, it was a very unfortunate exploit, and it was quite surprising for me to see a project like this have exploits. But if you see DeFi in general is pretty crazy. There's always going to be hackers and people who want to take advantage of a small bug in a project and drain the funds, right? So you have to be very careful. No project is safe. Any project can be hacked in DeFi. Even blue chip projects such as Aave, Compound Finance, Yearn.finance, all of these can still be like hacked, or their funds can be drained, or something can definitely happen, right? So this is not going to be a reason why people who really like combo or Furo combo and who really like what it's doing to stop investing in this project, right? Because if you see the charts, the combo token had its like the data is available since early January 2021, and it was it was at the time trading at $1 $2 range. It slowly started moving up, and it was moving sideways, but it was generally moving in the upward direction. It had a mild drop, and then started spiking again early February. And then after this exploit, you can clearly see that it had a sharp decline, right? But it's still trying to recover, and I'm pretty sure that it will recover pretty soon, because this project is pretty easy. Like, I believe that many whales at the current time I'm making this video, due to high gas fees, not a lot of retail investors will use Ethereum, right? But whales who have a lot of money and who interact with DeFi projects in the millions or 10 millions, they need to find an easy way to access DeFi projects, and they use Combo to make their processes very simple, right? And that's the best thing about Combo, because anyone who wants to interact with the Ethereum-based DeFi projects will have a hard time navigating the funds or the interface and making sure that they do the right thing to maximize the yield, right? Combo can do it all in one place. And the another important information about Combo is that recently Binance X, which is basically an arm of Binance, where multiple developers kind of offer their insights, and it's a basically developer-oriented environment, right, for Binance. Though that group, Binance X group, funded Combo, and Combo has gotten, I think, 12 million or 14 million, something in that range, dollars funding in order to develop Combo and make it much more bigger platform, right? If Binance X, which is still considered as a part of Binance, if Binance is investing in Combo, then there's a high chance that this project can also be listed on Binance. Again, this is basically speculation at this point, but there is a high chance that Binance will potentially list this token in the short term or long term, right? And this project seems to be a very high quality project with not a lot of moving parts. It doesn't really offer anything DeFi related. It only offers a smooth tool to people who want to invest in DeFi, so that they can use this tool to navigate DeFi easily, right? So and also for that, they provide reward mechanisms in Combo by providing if you use Furo Combo to access DeFi, right? So that is also a potential reason why Furo Combo will definitely perform well, because anything that gets listed on Binance will have an initial pump, and obviously it will have a dump, but its fair price value would be higher because of its high liquidity that's being provided on Binance, right? If you look at the Bitcoin comparative, you can also see like there's been several ups and downs, as though it's an oscillator, right? With the recent spike being its all-time high when it comes to Bitcoin comparative. But after that exploit, you can also see that there's a sharp decline on the price when it comes to Bitcoin comparative, but it is on its way to slowly trying to recover. You can clearly see that the initial dip definitely didn't prevent people from buying this token, and therefore it's kind of slowly starting to recover, right? And this is both in dollar comparative as well as Bitcoin comparative. So people are definitely having an eye out on this project. And if you see the volume candles, it's pretty good. The volume candles for such a pretty low ranked token is really good, which seems like there's so many people who are trying to use this project, and these volumes clearly represent the whales, or people who are able to afford Ethereum even after its high gas fees, and they are definitely using Firo Combo, and that's a good thing, right? So if you look at the markets, it's currently available on Uniswap version 2. It's also available on MXC, again a relatively less well-known exchange, but it's also available on SushiSwap. So I wouldn't recommend people buying this token from Uniswap or SushiSwap. Although MXC is kind of like a shady exchange, if you guys do your own research and you find that this project is worth investing in, and this exchange is also a legit exchange. I've never personally used MXC myself, so I don't really know. I've never used CoinX as well. If you guys feel like MXC and CoinX are relatively good exchanges to buy this token from, then you can buy it. But again, please bear in mind that these exchanges may not have high volumes, and they're probably the high risk options to buy from. So therefore, I would probably wait until the Ethereum gas fees kind of cools down, and then you can kind of use Uniswap or SushiSwap to get this token, right? But I also believe that Uniswap is also releasing their version 3, which will significantly reduce gas fees, and if that happens, you can pretty much buy any ERC20 tokens from Uniswap directly without relying on any of these third tier or second or third tier exchanges, right? So this is also a good thing, because if Binance has invested in this project, then there is a potential Binance listing soon. And if you get this token before anyone gets it on Binance, you will probably see a very short term capital gain, or in the long run you will definitely see this project outperforming several DeFi projects. And that's one of the reasons why I am personally planning to invest in this project. So what's my final verdict on this, right? Basically, it's a very simple concept. This project aims to make DeFi easier by using blocks or combos or cubes, which you can use to make multiple transactions into one single transaction. Very simple. The tokenomics is very good. I like the 100 million max supply. Its market cap is very low. Its ranking is also very low. You can also see that this token is definitely like it's a very good buy opportunity at this moment, because you can clearly see that it kind of crashed because of the recent exploit. Although the recent exploit is it's like a black mark for this token, I would not like prevent myself from investing in this project just because of the exploit, right? DeFi is risky by itself. So if you feel like you are going to lose money on this token, it's do your own research and come to that conclusion. Don't take my word for it. But I would personally put my money in this token, because I wanna use DeFi in an easy way, and I like the fact that this project is providing me that opportunity, right? This is the kind of project that will make retail investors FOMO into DeFi when prices start spiking for all cryptocurrencies, right? So this is the kind of project that you would definitely want to hold in the long run, right? So there's so many strong fundamentals, including the Binance X funding of Firo Combo, which is definitely going to indicate a potential highly likely Binance listing pretty soon. But when, we don't know. But I do believe that a Binance listing for this token is coming soon, right? Again, remember guys, you guys should do your own research. Please don't take my word for it. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is not financial advice. And also remember that you guys are not regular investors, but you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.